pre-conference.
LaVelle Sanders is in his third season as the Bearcats head coach. That's a look at his starting five. It's presented by Station 45. That name on top dog, Taimu Shinnery, has just been on fire the last couple of weeks.
Well, they go with a little bit of a bigger lineup because they got to keep Obeng Mensah off the glass, and they got to deal with Obioa down low. So Binghamton goes a little bit bigger today.
Tariq Balogun back in the starting lineup for the 9th time this season. And away we go from the Dr. Biley Court at the Event Center. That's the freshman, Ahmad Henderson II, who's off to a great start in his collegiate career. Purple Eagles get the game's first shot, and the first rebound is run down by Tariq Balogun. Bearcats unbeaten on this floor. 4 games, 4 wins, most recently beating Lemoyne. Part of their very exciting battle for the interstate last weekend. Close range from Shinnery, spins out.
Shinnery had a mismatch with Henderson on him. Torrance found him, but he just couldn't finish.
Had that mismatch versus the 5'9" Henderson. Good feed from Obioha, and he sets up a great look for Randy Tucker.
Tucker, good patience inside, gave Hareed a pump fake, got him up in the air, and then went to the other side.
Purple Eagles on the road after a long stretch of home games. Now they'll start racking up the miles. They just took down an America East team in NJIT on Saturday. Back to work goes Balogun, but he's off the mark. BU misses their first 2 shots, and here comes Henderson. The true freshman glides in, takes on 2 Bearcats. Mid-range Obioha won't go down.
I think if you're Binghamton, you can live with Obioha shooting a 3-pointer.
Nehemiah Benson starting for the 5th straight night. Benson making good work of it, averaging double figures in his last 5 games in scoring. Bearcats on the board after the Benson bucket. Niagara answers, and it's delivered by Randy Tucker, who's got both Purple Eagles buckets.
They're playing through Obioha, even though that was in the high post. He's a pretty good passer.
The U's offense goes to work, 6th in America East in scoring. The entire Purple Eagles bench wanted to travel, and instead Balogun finishes with a bucket. Looked like they were all doing a dance with the arms in circles on the Niagara
They got
bench.
away with a little shuffle, but nobody called it, so I guess he didn't.
That's Luke Bumbalough, a 4-year player at Ball State and one of 8.
Has to read how Binghamton's playing. If they double down, they want to try to post up Obioha, but if they double down, he'll have to kick it out. Conversely, BU has to be disciplined on the defensive end, and they got to control the glass. They got to rebound on the defensive end so they can get out in transition.
That transition was such a big focus for Greg Paulus heading into this one. He said they're dangerous. They can get out, make a defensive stop, get the ball down and run with it. They are really focused on throwing off the Bearcat pace.
Well, you saw the one basket they had. They quickly got it off the glass. The shot by Obioha, and then they pushed it up the floor. They got an easy one for Benson. That's what Binghamton wants to do. They want to run off their rebounds.
Benson got called for the reach-in foul. Muscling in is Obeng Mensah, the former UMBC retriever, and on the second offensive rebound, he converts.
Well, those 2 guys that just did that, played a little volleyball with that, you have to keep them off the glass. They're 2 outstanding offensive rebounders.
And that's the recipe, Todd, for Niagara. It's not just the first look, it's those second chances. Too deep from Shinnery, and there was a foul on the rebound attempt. It looks like this is on the Purple Eagles. Yao Obeng Mensah.
Yeah, got a little shove in there in the back of Shinnery.
LaVelle Sanders was, when talking about the Purple Eagles, the first thing he mentioned were the 2 big guys, Obioha and Obeng Mensah. And they know full well that a complete defensive stop has to end with a rebound tonight.
Yeah, and that's what Coach Sanders is always preaching. You know, sometimes guys, when the shot goes up, they think the defensive possession is over. You've got to come down with that rebound before the possession is over.
They're going to get Shinnery for an offensive foul. That ignites the Niagara bench.
Good job by Binghamton, though. They're exploiting the mismatch, the size difference twice down the floor now, but Shinnery a little too aggressive on the offensive move there.
So a 2-point lead for the Purple Eagles, representing the MAC, another MAC foe for BU. They played a handful of them this season, and we're going to get another foul. And this is on Nehemiah Benson, reported Armand Fareed. There's a look at Greg Paulus, who over the last 2 seasons has had to bring in a full trove of new players. He lost 10 players from last year. There are 8 new names on their roster this season.
Well, that's what you got to try to do. Mold guys together, mold guys' personalities, mold guys' games, and get them all on the same page.
There's Nehemiah Benson, one of BU's newcomers, and gets the left-handed finish to fall.
Solid, strong move into the paint, into this left hand. Nice little jump hook. Tough to stop that move.
BU rolling into this one after beating Lemoyne a week and a half ago. They put finals in the rearview mirror and now get the focus solely on basketball. Following the defensive stop, here comes Taimu Shinnery. And the follow from Balogun will send him to the free throw line.
Good job by Shinnery pushing the ball up the floor. They didn't have numbers, but he did get a pretty good look. Just didn't fall. And a good follow by Balogun to pick up the foul there.
Like, it feels like it's been a bit since we've talked about Tariq Balogun, but he, if all goes according to the scouting report, will play a big role tonight against the big fellas for Niagara.
Well, you know, Coach Sanders, the opponent will dictate the lineup more often than not for Binghamton. They need to check out Obeng-Mensah. They need to keep Obioha off the boards, so you're going to go with a bigger lineup. Hence, you'll see some of Balogun tonight. You may even see Tavion White a little bit more than you normally do. You may even see Gavin Walsh down there in the post playing defense, but they're going to play defense by committee, and Balogun's going to get a lot of minutes today.
Balogun's already got a pretty good sweat going on.
Pardon?
He's got a good sweat going on already, just 4 minutes deep. He's ready to go. He's added a handful of newcomers. There were 9 on the roster for BU. And a heavy collection of those newcomers have had a big impact for the Bearcats, who will open up America East play January 11th against the Bryant Bulldogs. Here, though, to wrap up the non-conference slate, 3 games left here against the Niagara Purple Eagles, a team they lost to on the road last season. A couple of days before Christmas, suffered a 6-point defeat. However, the biggest scorers in that game are no longer with either team.
Yeah, this is a new team for both teams.
Almost like a moot point to check out the box score from that game. Jacob Falco had 36 points for the Bearcats in the losing effort. And Noah Thomason, who was dynamite for the Purple Eagles last year, had 27 points in the win. But Thomason transferred to Georgia, leaving a huge void for Niagara to find their offense. And as Greg Paulus described it, they're at their best, Doug, offensively, Niagara, when they have balanced scoring. That's not going to be one star. They need a handful of guys in the lower double digits.
Yeah, they're both similar. Both clubs are the same, pretty much the same. They don't rely on one person all the time. You know, who knows? Maybe 2 guys, 2 different guys will have a night tonight like the guys did last year.
That's his first.
Rutai Sire picks up the foul as he sends Tariq Balogun to the free throw line.
Now you see they're pushing the ball inside. Binghamton wants to challenge Niagara inside, take advantage of their height advantage. Almost exclusively, they pounded the ball down low over the first 5 minutes of this ball game.
Balogun, born in Italy, raised in England, and playing his college basketball in Vestal, is now 4 of 4 from the free throw line to start tonight's game.
He's improved there dramatically since earlier in the season.
He's got his Bearcats on top by 4 as they bid for a 7th non-conference win. Into the hands of Braxton Bayless. Henderson drives, the scoop, good. Good touch shown off by the true freshman.
Boy, he needed every bit of that backboard up top to get it over Balogun.
And then gets a piece of one with the Torrance drive, but BU will keep it. Let's look at Samir Torrance from Syracuse, New York. Spent 2 seasons playing for Jim Boeheim before transferring to join the Bearcats. Their go-to point guard. Not only setting the table, but also scoring. Almost 10 points per game for Torrance. He finds Balogun, who gets a tough leaner to go home. No easy shot for Tariq Balogun.
Yeah, Niagara thought he may have gotten away with a shuffle of the feet there as well, but they're 0 for 2 on that.
So Balogun getting an opportunity, maybe taking center stage and taking advantage of it. He has 8 of BU's 12 points.
Well, I'm sure the coaching staff challenged him before the game, yesterday and the day before, and probably in the pregame.
And a reach-in foul on the Purple Eagles. That goes against Ahmad Henderson. Well, it's interesting, Doug, if you rewind the clock a little bit, Balogun had a monster game for the Bearcats against Loyola, Maryland, and Lavelle Sanders pointed to the support of his teammates to always have his back, and now here he is after maybe taking a secondary role the last couple of the games with a chance to show himself once more.
Well, it looks like they're making a concerted effort to feature him down low, getting them the ball as deep as he can, and he's doing a good job getting position down there.
Shinnery takes the handoff. Still trying to get one home is Shinnery on these close range shots. 0 for his first 4, but hustles back on defense as the Purple Eagles go to work. Third best scoring mark in the conference at 74 points per game. Buoyed by 113 that they put on Buffalo State just a couple of days ago. Bayless can't get the Plinko to go home. And it's pulled down by Torrance. Hareed. An open look, Shinnery. Magic trying to find it from what he had against Lemoyne when he scored 31 points, Shinnery.
Well, remember that game, he couldn't miss from everywhere.
Well, Lavelle Sanders said, what was the secret? Well, he was hitting 3-pointers. That was the secret. If Shinnery's hitting perimeter shots and building off of what he can do so well within arm's reach of the rim, that's how a guy like him scores 30-plus points.
Now, that was like remember Luke Sutherland, that was like a one-on-one.
It's been a little stop and go to get us started in the first 8 minutes. BU owns a 4-point lead. They've gotten one go-to scorer, Doug. It's been Tariq Balogun.
Now they're getting the ball inside to him deep, and he's getting anything he wants down there. Plus, he got to the foul line and made all 4 of those, too. So I'm pretty sure that Binghamton said, look, you're going to get a shot tonight. You're going to get we're going to feature you for the first 15 or so possessions, and they certainly have done that, and he's responded.
So Balogun has 8. So how do the Bearcats get maybe some of the others involved? And to that point, it feels like sometimes these shots haven't really been falling for them either.
Yeah, both teams aren't shooting a real good percentage. You know, Niagara's 4 for 16, and Binghamton's 4 for 10. Maybe a little rusty coming off the exam. Second of 5 in a row on the road, but all in the state of New York, right?
Yeah, they just rattle off one New York opponent after another after this.
Well, they mix in a couple of conference games too. They already had 2, and then a couple more in that 5-game stretch.
Niagara foul charge to number 4.
Foul on Bayless to send Balogun back to the free throw line.
Again, though, Torrance, Tim, you see Torrance draws the help, draws the defenders, and then gets it to Balogun in a good spot.
Now Balogun's been the source of the Bearcat offense to this point. And keeps it rolling from the free throw line.
Yeah, see the referees, Nate Farrell stepping in there, and we're going to talk. They've had enough, I think. They've had more than their fill in the first 10 and a half minutes of this game, and they're not going to tolerate anymore.
Laying down the law is Nathan Farrell. How about Balogun start? 6 of 6 from the free throw line. Already into double figures in an 18-18 game here from the Event Center in Vestal.
He seems a little bit more confident at that foul line than he did in the past.
You see the first couple go down, that's got to build your confidence.
Absolutely, absolutely. Once you see a couple go down, you start to feel better about yourself out there.
Bumbalo got to see one go down, but could not follow. Torrance behind the back, zips, and it's laid down by Hareed.
Hareed, give the assist to Torrance.
Again, Torrance draws the defenders, knows exactly where his teammates are.
Number 1.
Gets it to them in a good spot.
Torrance fresh off of an 11-assist game against Lemoyne. Tough one, a little too much on it from Obioha as he looked for Braxton Bayless.
Obioha is a decent passer from out on top, but he does turn the ball over an awful lot for a big fella.
Niagara substitution checking back into the game is number 13.
They haven't posted it all about as much as I thought they would thus far.
Yeah, Jason noted. Our Jason Weinstein noted how much he had been spending outside the arc on offense. See if that might change and evolve for Niagara. Bearcats back on top by 2.
Obio is on the bench now. Niagara's really, really small right now.
Petcash drove it in, and Balogun regrets it. Might have been going down anyway, but Balogun tried to help it. Yeah, he'd love to have that touchback.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was going to fall anyway. He needed to let that go. Walker knew it was going to fall. He backed off.
So no bucket for the Bearcats. It stays a 2-point game, and it remains that way. Bumbalo could not go.
Boy, good recovery by Petcash. He saw him out of the corner of his eye.
Here's Hareed against 3 Purple Eagles. They'll swing it to Torrance. Offensive putback from Hareed.
Well, you know, Torrance knew that he was in a pickle there. He just threw it up because he knew Hareed had the offensive position for the rebound. He just threw it up off the board there.
So 6 unanswered for the Bearcats. Do the Purple Eagles have a rebuttal? Inside Bullock. No, he got his own rebound. Petcash finally pulls it down. Balogun waits, and lays it in.
Well, you know, Balogun is also running the floor pretty well, Tim, and that's getting him better opportunities.
Now there's that transition, a defensive stop, a quick outlet, and a quick bucket at the other end.
And when your bigs can run the floor like that, like Balogun did just then, Torrance is going to find you.
Torrance got a piece. Bumbalo runs it down. And he'll reset as Niagara's offense looks to find their groove again. Now it's Obeng-Mensah, and he throws it down. What a route to the rim for the Ontario native.
Boy, good patience by those two guys, Bumbalo and Obeng-Mensah. Clock was running down. They forced Binghamton into a switch.
They're going to get Balogun for the offensive foul. He was thinking perhaps with the Purple Eagles.
Went down to Carolina for the weather. Get away from some of that snow up there at Syracuse.
He says he's looking forward to that game coming up against the Orange. There will be a lot of purple in the stands in a couple of nights at the Dome. Here's Braxton Bayless, and it pinballs home. So Bayless has his first bucket. Good touch recently for Bayless, 11 of 17 from the floor his last 2 games. And he's got Niagara within 2.
So the guards are doing a good job getting deep into the lane and then putting it high off the glass over the bigs of Binghamton.
And good second effort for the Purple Eagles. BU will keep it with the possession out. Niagara's bench fired up about the second effort to make life difficult for Balogun. Doug, Niagara's shooting at the moment under 35%. This is a team that shoots almost 50% from the floor. What has the Bearcats defense done to make it difficult for them?
Well, they're chasing them off the three-point line, and they're not getting any post presence, so you're not getting any easy ones down low for Niagara. And then the bigs are coming over to help and changing a lot of shots at the rim for Niagara on the smaller guards.
Torrance takes a step-back approach and calmly knocks it down.
Now he's got so many tools in his arsenal.
That bumps BU shooting to 50%, 10 of 20 to start the game. Shake from Bayless, kick to the corner. and finds Obeng-Mensah. Big man handling the ball, backing it against Petcash. Dishes, and Obioha throws it down.
Well, you got to credit Obeng-Mensah for that. He jockeyed, pushed Petcash down deep, then the help came and did a good job finding Obioha.
Man, how about that combination? 6'7" Obeng-Mensah, and then the 7-footer Obioha to cap it.
And that last possession, they both got to within 2 or 3 feet of the basket. It's going to be tough to stop them there.
Lavelle Sanders says Obioha is at his best when teams let him get comfortable. BU's goal is to make him uncomfortable. To this point, 2 points for Obioha.
Well, he's a little bit uncomfortable because he hasn't been in the post that much now. He's there now, but he's been playing, as Jason told us, that he's playing away from the basket more than he normally does today.
For Balogun, rolls it home. Home bounce for Tariq Balogun, whose strong first half continues. He's got 14 points.
When things are going your way, you get rolls and bounces like that. That's 2 of them he's got a friendly rim on.
Bayless drives. Shinnery might have gotten a piece, but it goes down anyway.
I'm very impressed with these Niagara guards with the size advantage that Binghamton has. They're doing a real good job finishing at the rim.
And showing no fear in driving either.
Yeah, taking it right at them.
After the defensive stop, Purple Eagles a chance to even this game, or how about take the lead? Bayless from the corner, a 3.
Well, in your conversation with Coach Paulus too, they share the ball well, and you see them doing that now. A little zone here now by Niagara.
You can feel that energy coming from the Purple Eagles bench as they recapture the lead. 4th lead change of the game. Screen from Balogun. Gets it right back from Torrance and finishes with the left hand.
Well, Niagara showed zone, and then after the first pass, they went into a man-to-man, so they're trying to confuse Binghamton.
Balogun, 16 points. He's already matched his season best. And he has his Bearcats back on top by 1. A little bit too much dragging in the plant foot for Quan Marple Jr. And we'll step aside. Back in 4th we go. A 1-point edge for the BU Bearcats. Braxtoners per game in their conference. Yet they've got the 2nd best 3-point percentage. When they take them, they tend to hit them.
Well, they take good shots. That's what that means. And usually they make the extra pass and you get a wide open look, an easier attempt.
Binghamton owns a 1-point lead. Final 3 minutes of the first half. Armand Hareed won't go down. Tough night for everybody not named Tariq Balogun for the BU Bearcat offense. Henderson drives and bangs it home. He puts Niagara back on top.
You know, I hate to beat a dead horse, but the guards for Niagara are throwing that ball high off the glass at perfect spot for them to fall in.
Walker had the rebound but missed the 2nd attempt, and it's taken free by Bayless. Henderson fakes the drive. Surrounded by Bearcats. Bayless from the other corner. Petcash has the rebound. Rebounds even, 18 aside. Niagara not known for their rebounding this season. Actually, they came in dead last in the nation, averaging just 28 rebounds per game. Hareed, a line drive miss, and he sends it back and gets to the free throw line.
The bigs coming into this game, and it's your senior center, Tariq Balogun, with a monster first half. What did you see from him?
Just being aggressive. We threw him the ball inside, and he's making plays. So we just got to keep doing that and try to keep riding him as much as we can.
I'm going to say, how do you get some of the others to start to up their offensive game in the second half?
They talked a lot about the focus on the post play. Well, they got great post play from Tariq Balogun. He had 16 points.
Well, they have a size advantage, and they got to try to use it. Now, Niagara didn't really utilize their 7-footer in the post that much. Now, maybe they're talking about that now, but maybe the design was to bring Binghamton's bigs away from the basket so the guys could drive for Niagara. That seemed to work pretty well. So
offensive rebounds were a few too many for Great Ball as BU turns it into 11 second chance points. You just saw Jason Weinstein. I'm Tim Hyman, the man to my left, Doug Walsh. Our producer is Jeremy Donovan. We're glad to have you along for the ride. Tuesday evening basketball in the Southern Tier, and looks like Harlan Obioha just drew the second foul out of Tariq Balogun. So 10 seconds in, BU picks up their first foul of the half. As they lead by 4 as they look for a third straight win.
Balogun thought it might have been a flop. Josh Anderson said no, that's a foul.
And now, Doug, they'll highlight Obioha in the post and kick out to Bumbelow. Driving, waits, and then Balogun just picked up his third foul, and it sends Bumbelow to the free throw line. What a productive trip down the floor for the Purple Eagles to start the half.
You see it went down low inside to Obioha, and then he kicked it back out. Balogun did a good job shutting down the Obioha in the post, but then he kicked it back out to Bumbelow, and Bumbelow did a nice job initiating the contact, drawing the call, and then finishing.
Doug, take me into this from a coaching perspective. The motivation for Niagara in the first half to mostly use Obioha on the perimeter. What was the push to do that, and why do you think they've shifted now to getting him in the paint?
Well, two things. I think they wanted to get the rest of the guys involved because, you know, you figured Binghamton was going to key on him after the game he had against NJIT the other day. So, one, to get the other guys involved, and B, he's kind of a good passer as well. So they try to set up his teammates and draw Binghamton's bigs away from the basket on the defensive end.
BU just hit their first three-pointer. They had missed all 3 attempts in the first half. They've got a 4-point lead against the Purple Eagles, who have won back-to-back games. Obioha versus Balogun has to play clean defense, does, but a touch Benson last. Like, you surprised Balogun remains on the floor with 3 fouls?
Well, they're going to play by committee. He's doing such a good job on the offensive end. I think Coach Sanders is going to let him stay a little bit. I think he may go 1 or 2 more possessions and then put him on the bench for a little bit. You know, he's savvy enough and experienced enough to know enough not to pick up another one.
Shinnery rejects Henderson, and Benson finishes at the other end with the foul to boot.
Well, just like Coach Sanders said, when Shinnery on the bench, then he makes it quite an impression on this possession, blocks it, gets them out in transition, and that's what Coach Sanders was talking to Jason about, getting some easy ones off their defense.
So defense fueling the offense, and BU has their largest lead. And it puts Benson on the free throw line. 3-point play completed. Benson into double figures.
You see the 2 guys making an impact already in the second half. For Satin reading his team to Ryan Ack there and got them back on the floor. They were waiting for about 30 seconds for the Binghamton to come out of their huddle. He said he made his point real quick and get back out there, boys.
Yeah, it's rare to see players milling about on the floor after a timeout, but the Purple Eagles were just eager to get the game back going again. Torrens, a step back 3. Won't roll home, and Obioha's got the rebound. He's good for about 8 of those per game. He's just got 3 tonight. Purple Eagles within 6, entering at a 3-6 record. They've already played 2 conference games, falling in both of them to start MAC play. Now it's Bumbelow drawing defense, and Henderson hits from long range.
Right out of the timeout. Now they got 2 pretty good looks. That was deep, but 2 good looks and 2 threes. Got him right back in it.
So the 19-year-old from Chicago pulls Niagara back within 3. Balogun playing with 3 fouls, sized up by Obioha. Still working. Turn, shoot, and he hits.
Well, he wasn't going to give it up. He knew he had his man on his hip.
18 for Balogun. That matches a career best that he sent back in January. Bumbalo, a 4-year player at Ball State. Fires offline this time. No second chance for the Purple Eagles. Right back to Balogun, the hot hands. Shittery's got a gift outfit and chance points for BU from Armand Harid.
Good set play out of bounds underneath. They got Harid the ball down low.
Kevin Devitt just livid the associate head coach on the Niagara bench. Here comes Henderson, who's playing with 3 fouls. Bumbalo a 3, it's good. Luke Bumbalo from the other side of the floor.
Boy, Henderson got it in deep and made a pretty dangerous pass, but it ended up in Bungalo's hands.
BU's lead sits at 4. We'll step aside on ESPN+.
That's his first, the team's third. There's timeout on the floor. Media.
Back underway, 4:20 gone by second half. A couple of winning streaks on the line. Each team has won their last 2. BU winners of 6 of their last 8 and unbeaten on their home floor. Harid, long range 2, too deep. Torrance. Petcash steps into a 3 and hits it.
Boy, you can't say enough about Samir Torrance, though. Niagara had it in their hands, and he took it right off them, that rebound, and then, as he always does, he finds the open man.
That's now 9 offensive rebounds for the Bearcats. They average just 10 per game this season. Henderson, good. Another one from deep for the Purple Eagles.
Well, you can see why they like him. Only a freshman. He's got range.
And an offensive foul on BU. So the Purple Eagles' last 4 buckets got 18 and Harid with 13. Niagara with 2 in double figures, 16 for Henderson and 11 for Bumbalo. Obioha sized up by Tariq Balogun. Henderson, a hot hand this half. Cutting through traffic, dishes. Obioha missed. Blocked away by Harid.
Obioha was too close to the basket. The rim blocked the first shot.
Samir Torrance with the layup to give the Bearcats a 5-point lead.
Well, he gave a motion to his teammates that he can't check me. He's too small to check me.
Samir Torrance was offering good sportsmanship. Henderson opted to allow his teammates to pick him up.
Third, the team's 5th. 5 of the Bearcats.
Well, and Binghamton's had the answer, though, Tim. Every time Niagara's closed the gap, they get a little bit of a spurt, and they get it out to 4, 5, 6. Niagara just can't seem to get over the hump.
Yeah, the Purple Eagles have not scored 3 unanswered buckets in a row in this game. No really sizable runs to speak of for Niagara. Bayless got it over Balogun but missed, and Benson's got the loose ball. That rebound margin started to expand, Doug. It's now a +6 in the Bearcats' favor.
Now you see 4 white shirts around that glass, 2 for that rebound.
Now they're going to put the foul on
Niagara foul charge to number
Obioha. That sends us to break. 5-point Bearcat lead. We'll come back with more hoops here in Vestal on ESPN+. Had to sell the contact, but he'll settle for 3 and get it to a 4-point game.
And he didn't need time. That was a quick release, too. That was a catch and shoot real quick over Torrance. Torrance in disbelief.
Harid never got picked up, and then Obeng-Mensah smacked it away.
Yeah, a little too long to find Harid there.
And then Harid returns the favor, but gets way too much body. Now that sends Obeng-Mensah to the free throw line.
Armand Harid, that's his second.
That's number 2 on Harid.
Well, you see, it took a little bit too long for them to find Harid, and Obeng-Mensah was a little. He could sneak in behind Harid, he didn't see him. Good block there, and then down the other end, they reward him, get him a good look close, and Harid has to foul him. So
Obeng-Mensah was more of a soccer player in his youth. He admitted he might a little different vibe in the building this time. compared to what was a near sellout a week and a half ago when BU beat Lemoyne in front of a raucous crowd. A heat check, Henderson. No, won't go down. Oleg tried to follow, but just could not hold on to it.
Well, that was halfway down, too. That must have looked pretty good the whole way for Henderson.
Well, you can start to see it in his eyes that there's a pep behind Henderson. He's got the feel. Balogun battling, and it goes down. It's a new career best for Tariq Balogun, cracking 20 points for the first time collegiately.
Well, he gets that ball on the left post, and he comes to his right hand in the lane. That little jump hook is working pretty well tonight.
BU trying to stiff arm this Niagara comeback. Bumbalo weaving. Henderson lost it. Craig Paulus wants his team to reset. Torrance stays with the screen. Brutai knocked it down. Another one from deep.
Well, they're getting hot from beyond the arc, and good two-man game there. You drew the mismatch. Bumbalo pulled the defense away, and Brutai got an easy look.
Balogun fouled on his way to the rim. Looks like that one goes on
Niagara foul
Brutai Searing.
That's his second. Team 7.
Balogun remains down. He's played 24 minutes. He has shouldered so much of the load.
Let's see. Having his way in the post, pretty much doing whatever he wants. And he wasn't about to give it up.
And Doug, these have not been, by any stretch, easy minutes for Balogun. It's been a grind every trip down the floor.
They're bumping him and grinding him. They're sending different guys at him. They're banging him, and he's had to work on the offensive end.
He didn't play versus Stonehill. We did not see him at all versus Lemoyne. So he's playing in his first game since November 29th. So it's been 3 weeks since he's been able to get on the floor, and welcome back to the floor and creeping towards the season best in minutes played.
Yeah, and they're featuring him too all night long. So, you know, it's a little different when you play in practice and then you play in the game. There's a different energy that's released and used in game-like situations. So, they're going to give him a little bit of rest for Binghamton.
65-63 Niagara as they aim to kick off a long stretch of road games on a winning note. The switch, now Balogun on Henderson. He'll fire away. Torrance grabs the rebound.
Well, with that switch, Balogun had him out further than he wanted to be.
Torrance fouled by Brutai Searing. And they'll shoot a couple.
See what Niagara's doing, Tim, is they're putting Henderson into the switch. They're making Binghamton make a decision. Either you switch or you stay straight. And if you stay straight, he's going to drive it. If you switch it, he's going to step back and shoot it.
Torrance gets the friendly bounce for the back iron. A 65% free throw shooter this season, makes his second trip. And here's Torrance again. A 1-point game.
Now, when you do those three things, too, on a regular basis, it's tough to keep him off the floor as well, Torrance. He can rebound it, he can dish it, and if he needs him to score, they'll score.
You can see this tight defense against Bumbalo. Another attempt from Bumbalo. Oh, he stepped around Torrance, but missed. Did all the heavy lifting, just could not finish.
I think he was surprised how open he was.
Obioha battling Balogun. Hareed in Shinnery from close range. And a chance at a three-point play for Taimu Shinnery. Henderson playing with 4 fouls. Teardrop won't go down. BU cleans the glass. Offensive rebounds have been hard to come by for Niagara. Just 2 of them in this second half. A 2-point Bearcat lead.
Henderson, though, showed you another move in his repertoire, the little floater.
No one picked up Torrance. A second look for BU, and it belongs to Shinnery, who's fouled. Brutai Searing sends him right back to the free throw line.
Well, he didn't think so, but you have to. I think you have to call that. You have to put Shinnery on the line there.
10.
And see, good move by Shinnery. Beats his man off the dribble, forces the help to come over. And yeah, a little too much bump
Shinnery
there.
at the line, 2 shots.
Lavelle Sanders. A lot of interesting things to say about Shinnery coming to this game. But noting how the things that jumped off the page for him were his defense and his ability to move without the ball. And although he was quiet in the first half, he's a guy that can come through with a big play when the Bearcats need it.
Well, he's got a good IQ. Moving without the ball is good anticipation. You anticipate what your teammate may be thinking, maybe what he wants to do, and he's already gotten himself into a good position by moving without the ball.
A 3-point game. Can the Purple Eagles grab one on the road? They'll work it to Rutai Searay, battling Petcash, swatted away. Balogun got in there. BU's 7th block of the night. Torrance goes to work. Off the glass and good.
Now, Balogun got them fired up with the block. With the help defense, came over and got the block. And Torrance knew he was going to take Bumbelow the whole time.
7 unanswered for BU. Bumbelow, no rebuttal, won't go down.
Well, that hot streak has seemed to have subsided for Niagara.
And you can see, Doug, there isn't a whole lot of pressure and crashing the glass for them on the offensive glass. A lot of one and done for Niagara.
Well, they expended a lot of energy on that little run they had, and they may be getting a little bit tired.
Balogun pestered by 2 Purple Eagles. Another chance for Hareed, who got in there and draws contact from Niagara. BU starting to string them together. What was a 2-point deficit, now a 5-point lead with just over 3 minutes left in regulation. It's a 9-0 run to put the Bearcats on top by 5. Doug, how have they stitched it together?
Well, after that run by Niagara, they last 7 possessions, they've gone 2 for 7. You know, we always talk about it's a game of runs, and usually the team with the longest run or the last run will come out on top, and Binghamton's last run has them up 5 with just over 3 to go.
And Doug, it was Balogun who shined. 16 of his points tonight came in the first half. Others have stepped up for BU in the second half.
Yeah, here Reed's got some offensive rebounds. Benson made a couple of nice plays. Torrance has been strong on some drives to the basket. So, you know, they're doing what they need to do. They're balancing it. Everybody's getting involved. Balogun couldn't do it all by himself, so he needed some other guys to step it up a little bit, and they have in the second half.
BU in the double bonus now as the Purple Eagles have committed 11 fouls this half.
No empty trip there for Reed, so turns out that may have been a good foul.
Straight away, a 3, no good. Three's not falling now for Niagara.
Now we'll see if Binghamton gets a little bit more deliberate on the offensive end. It might be a little too early for that.
The lob, Shinnery lost it, but he's fouled. It's like Bullock got in there to commit the foul. In that sense, the Bearcats right back to the free throw line.
Yeah, with a lot less pressure, like you said. Now they're in the double bonus. A little backdoor action and try to get a lob to Shinnery, and they're going to get, yeah. They're going to get Bullock.
Time moves Shinnery at the line for the Bearcats, 2 shots.
You can see those numbers for Shinnery. 20-plus points, one game after another, and then the big one is 31-point effort against Lemoyne, which sent him to Conference Player of the Week honors in America East.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive to see.
He's got his Bearcats on top by 6 after they trailed by 4. 2:30 left in regulation.
Now, if you're Niagara, you need a good possession, you need a good shot. You can't force one up. And if you're Binghamton, if they miss, you've got to come down with this rebound.
Henderson sized up by Shinnery and a foul away from the ball. That's going to be on Time Shinnery.
to number 0, Taimu Shinnery. That's his 4th personal. The team's 7th. Bearcats are now over limit.
That puts Niagara in the bonus. 1-1 territory for the Purple Eagles. 4th one on Shinnery.
Now, referee Adam Vandenberg said he had 2 hands on him, and that's automatic.
Henderson is at the line. He will shoot.
Henderson coming off a 10-point game versus NJIT on Saturday. I've actually seen his minutes dribble down in the last 3 games or so.
Well, he's also their best foul shooter, so you would imagine that these will be good.
81% this season is Henderson, who cracks 20 points for the 2nd time as a Purple Eagle.
He's got a quiet confidence about him too, doesn't he, for a freshman?
He's come alive in this 2nd half. Now 15 of his 22 points in this stanza.
Well, allows them to put pressure on them.
Purple Eagles almost got it back. Petcash and Balogun, but they can't finish. Niagara trying to string it together within 4. 2 minutes left, and a foul on the inbound, or on the entry pass.
Yeah,
that goes against Tariq.
Yeah, Tariq a little too much bumping and grinding down low. Binghamton was posting him up and got him in deep. And Tariq with a little shove trying to get him out of there.
At the line for Niagara, number 15,
Mel Sanders trying to guide his team to a 7th win in non-conference play. 9 days in between games, a week and a half just about to recuperate and get healthy. They'll need every ounce to take this one to the finish line against Niagara.
Well, when you're on the road, you got to make foul shots, and they've made their last 3.
Greg Paulus loves the energy that Yao brings, calls it contagious. Couldn't get the roll this time. 2nd chance. And there was a foul on the rebound attempt on BU. Again on Armand Haree, that will be number 4.
Charge to number 2, Armand Haree. That's his 4th personal.
It was Drake Bolick that got in there that forced the issue.
Yeah, he snuck in there, got the rebound off the missed foul shot. It bounced an extra time on the rim, and Binghamton guys were in the air. Bullock came away with it, and then they thought they had the good block, Binghamton, but Bullock goes to the line.
So here's Drake Bullock, product of Louisiana Tech, and now joining Niagara for his 1st season on the hot hand recently. 1 of 2. 2-point game.
Again, though, the make allows Niagara to get into pressure.
And again, BU's inbounds pass leads a man to the corner.
A little bit under their capability, you'd say, but the 2nd half has been much better for both teams. Certainly for Niagara on that run, making all those 3s and having that good percentage there for a good 7-minute run there.
So Luke Bumbelow controls. 2 years removed from a huge season at Ball State. He has come through with some big buckets tonight for Niagara. Kick out. Rutai Searay zips it to Obioha. It got tapped. Obioha follows but misses. And Balogun cleans the glass. Surprised the Purple Eagles weren't looking for a goaltend there. It was very close.
Well, I tell you what, though, they got what they wanted. They got Obioha deep into the lane, and he missed 2 easy ones.
Now Torrance, floater, no. A scrum for the rebound. Purple Eagles get it. Down by 3, final minute. Henderson kicks it out. And Niagara uses their final timeout. So Niagara cleans the glass, prevents any second look for BU, and now they've got it, Doug, trailing by 3.